Hi, my people. Welcome back to the podcast. It's been a while. I just wiped literal dust off of my mic, so I'm really excited to be here, okay? Today we're talking about weird ways to add some whimsy into your life, okay? Because, some may call me weird, some may call me whimsy, okay? Whimsy and weird kind of go hand in hand. Like, you can't really be whimsy without being a little weird, okay? So we're gonna get a little weird today. I wrote down a little list of little ways to just make life more fun, more whimsical, more lighthearted, more intentional, if you will. And I actually broke up what I'm going to talk about today into two categories. One being the more intentional sort of ways to add whimsy to your life, and the other being the more fun, kind of weird, funky's a good word, funky ways of adding whimsy into your life. Okay. So the intentionality ones might be a little bit more kind of tangible day-to-day things, and the second half of this episode will be about all the little fun whimsical ones that you can add in to kind of romanticize life and make it more interesting and fun and weird. Okay. And whimsy, if you will. I'm trying to be whimsy today, kind of a little bit with my outfit, and it's not giving the whimsical vibes I wanted it to give, to be honest. I just really wanted to wear my shawl because it's really comfy and I feel like a little. If you're not watching on YouTube right now, this is irrelevant. You can skip. But when English teachers in high school would take like their cardigan and like wrap it over them? Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now this whole episode. Yeah, you might think it's a blanket. Nope, it's a fucking shawl. Because my ways of being whimsy are just being an 80-year-old woman in a 20-year-old body, to be honest. Like, genuinely. Anyways, but yeah, let's just get right into it, okay? Starting off strong with the intentionality ways we can add whimsy to our life, right? We're just going down the line today. I'm going to talk a little bit about them. I was talking to one of my best friends earlier today, telling her that I wanted to record this episode, and we were just bantering, going off each other on ideas of ways to add whimsy to your life. Because we're just like whimsy friends, And like, there's nothing better than a whimsical friendship, like a mutual whimsy, if you will. I need to stop. I need to take that out of my vocabulary. So she said something that she does that I thought was so whimsy and fun is she will match her scent of the day, like whatever perfume that she chooses, with the vibe that her outfit gives off. Like, how cute. Like, I love that. So stealing that, trademarking that, yeah. I don't know. Some girls I feel like are more like they have one signature scent, so I don't really know if that applies to everyone. But me personally, I have like a quadrillion different scents that I've kind of collected over the past like probably 10 years of my life, to be honest. And no, not 10, because I was still wearing like Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works body mists 10 years ago, to be honest. That's disgusting. It's good to remind myself that I'm still young sometimes, though. And you know what? I do that by being whimsy because I'm just letting myself be a kid. Okay. If I'm being so honest. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, I'm already reaching grandma status. So I got to keep myself grounded. Okay. Anyways, moving on. I just really love that first one. Had to start it off with a banger. This next one is also really fun. And it like makes me feel kind of like witchy. Like, I love it. May that attract all of the witchy women to this podcast and scare all of the non-whimsical men away. Amen. Okay, but I love to like use a candle as a way to set an intention. Or to like, I do this with a lot of things. Like, if I light my incense, sometimes I'll set an intention to like clear whatever bad energy or stagnant energy is in my room. Just clear it out. Clear it out. Just like little things like that. You just got to get a little hippy dippy sometimes in life. It's good for the soul, keeps you young. But if you want to take it a step further now, you can assign a specific candle or a specific scent, if you will, just like the first one, to a specific task. So you might have a laundry candle, you might have a cleaning room candle, just all different kinds of candles. You know what? And I'm starting to think this would be a better one for people who actually accumulate multiple candles at one time. I don't know if that's like a specific person. Like, I don't know if that's a specific vibe. I feel like I always have like two in my room at least, maybe. So that's why I haven't really tried that one yet, but I kind of love that. I just think mine is just like the setting intention thing because I don't have a million candles. Anyways, okay, this is another one that's very whimsical, just kind of attaching meaning to things. You can pick an object, just like a random thing. So you want to pick an apple, okay? And you can make that thing your sign. So every single time you see an apple, maybe to you that means that you're on the right path. You're doing good, right? And the fun thing here is that you can assign different meanings to different objects, right? Like it could be the most mundane objects. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like it could be like a pair of sunglasses. Like it literally could be anything. And every single time you notice those things, because you're bringing your awareness, okay? You're bringing your awareness. Y'all hate on whimsy people, but we are just aware and we are present. Okay, and we're practicing presence actively, okay? Because dare I say all we want is peace. Okay? All I want is some peace of mind. Ugh, my chair is so freaking squeaky. Do you hear that? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. And I be lounging when I'm on this mic, so I apologize because I move every 2 seconds. Ugh, I just did it. The next one is kind of just cutesy, and I feel like this is one that I've seen people do already, but I just wanted to throw it in here because I think it's kind of fun still. It's kind of fun to use the time that you are doing things that you maybe do every single day and start to make them more of a whimsy task, okay? Because it makes them more fun. It makes them less boring because when we get super, super bored from doing certain tasks, they just feel like chores to us. And I notice that that happens to me a lot with cooking. Like I go through these phases where cooking starts to just feel like I have to cook to survive. And I'm literally in the kitchen like there's 30 seconds left in chopped, like dead ass. And I hate when I get into those phases because I love to cook and I love to cook slowly and to take my time and to put a little love into it. And that's when it tastes better too. So, one thing you can do when you're cooking or making your coffee every morning is you can use that time to be intentional. So, whatever that means to you, intentionality can be saying a prayer. And when I mean prayer, that can mean literally anything. It doesn't have to just be a religious term. It can be you setting intentions for your day, talking to whatever higher power you believe in. Like, I don't know. It could be anything. Or you can say little affirmations for yourself, which in a way is kind of talking to spirit as well, if you want to go there. I don't know, like, if we're going to get that deep today, but I just kind of want to keep it lighthearted and whimsy today. But you know what I mean. I always get a little philosophical on here. I tend to. Okay, this next one's also kind of fun. So whenever you get new clothes and they come with a fresh new tag on it that have that really fucking annoying plastic shit that you always risk ruining your clothes if you rip it off, but also like it's so much easier to rip them off sometimes than it is to cut that, like I don't know. I whatever. First world problems. Something that I literally just thought of recently was whenever you find yourself cutting off the tag of the new shirt that you just got, make it a little intentional, why don't you? Maybe just like set an intention that every single time you wear that shirt, you feel good in it and it treats you well because you'll treat it well. Listen, I don't know. I never claimed to be whimsy. Okay. I've only ever claimed to be weird, but I'm aware of my weirdness. And you know what? I think that makes me a little less weird because, like, if you're just self aware and weird, then shit, maybe you just, like, don't get embarrassed easily, you know? Ever think of that? Ever think of that? Yeah. Anyways, we're moving on to the fun side of the little whimsical things you can add into your life that maybe aren't in your day to day, but are just fun to add here and there. Okay, the first thing that I actually did right before I recorded this episode, I was sitting outside my friend's house and I'm still in college, so we have college homes. So we're outside and there's a lot of little wildflowers around us. Some would call them weeds, okay? But if you have a whimsical brain, then baby, that ain't a dandelion. That's a flower. That's a flower. So naturally, I got the inclination to make a little bouquet, right? So I'm adding that to the list. Tiny little wildflower bouquets. Come on, guys. We got to step it up a little bit. Like, come on. And not for nothing, but if you're watching the video version of this episode, then you're kind of on the in right now because you get to see my bouquet. And I put it in a little shot glass. Okay, it actually looks awful on this camera, but She's so fun. Okay, and that actually gets me to my next topic that I want to talk about, which is chipped nail polish. Okay. I have something to say about this. I really do because I'm someone who has always enjoyed having my nails done. Okay. Love some nail polish. It really makes me feel complete. It adds so much, it's just so much fun. I love it. Like, it makes my hands look so much more fun when I wear all my rings, and I love it. Okay. But I also go a little bit feral the second my fresh nails chip. Okay. I will go feral and I will basically rip all of them off like a feral animal, genuinely. And I can't be doing that. But also, like, I'm in this phase of my life where I kind of like fuck with how they look chipped. Okay, like, I don't know if I'm just trying to be edgy. Like, they actually look disgusting, and I think I'm literally just trying to be different so bad. And I just don't feel like taking my nail polish off, and it's really hard to chip this one away. I'm just gabbing on this mic. Oh my God. I reached my word count like 30 minutes ago, dead ass. Anyways, I think that's just me, but I feel like chip nail polish can be kind of cool and fun. I don't know, I'm kind of into it. And then it just becomes like my stim for the next week is just like peeling it off more and more. You know what I mean? And like maybe making fun shapes with it, like trying to like, okay, maybe that's just me. Going off of that, similar vibe here. I think I only have one friend who wears mismatched socks, which is so interesting to me and makes me realize like no one's having fun with their socks these days. Everyone's just wearing white socks and like how boring. What kind of world do we live in? I think we need to be having more fun with our sock game. And like I say this, I'm coming at you with white socks on, white crew socks on. Like as basic as it can get, but like that's why I don't mismatch my socks as much is because I honestly own just a majority of white socks, so I just find myself wearing the same white socks. And how boring. I do have fun socks that I just like feel like I don't wear enough, you know? But a good sock is so fun. Like you can add that to an outfit and it's fun. Yeah. Anyways. Okay, another really, really fun thing that I'm really into right now. And honestly, like, when am I not into this? Like, it's just so fun and inner child healing. Bringing back old artifacts, toys, things you used to like when you were younger, like when you were a kid. There's just something so whimsy about it. Like, duh. Like, your inner child is like the most whimsy thing you could possibly tap into, you know? And I just love that. So today I got like a random urge to purchase a Littlest Pet Shop. If you were listen, if you were part of the LPS gang, like you get it. But if you know, you know, I guess. I was obsessed with Littlest Pet Shops. Like they were my favorite thing ever. I collected all of them. I had a big house that they all lived in, and they were all friends. And I just genuinely kind of miss them. And I think next time I go into Target, I'm going to look for them. Anyways, even though I grew up on Walmart, guys. Like, I did not grow up as a Target girl. We didn't have one in my hometown, which is crazy. I didn't even grow up from that small of a town. We just had a lack of a Target for some reason. I don't know. But I'm not complaining because I still had Trader Joe's, so I'm not complaining. Okay, but going off of like the childhood whimsy, bringing back something when you were a kid, I recently, when I was at my parents' house for the summer, I went through my memory box that's just full of things that I've collected over the years that I've wanted to keep for some reason, which is really fun and I highly recommend. It's really cutesy and fun and will make you feel things hard, I promise. And while I was going through my memory box over the summer, I found a little t-shirt that is from my favorite ice cream place in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where I used to vacation basically every year with my family for like the first 10 years of my life or something like that. And yeah, it's like one of my favorite places ever. And I have a little t-shirt. And now the t-shirt is extremely small on me, but it's giving baby T vibes. So I brought it back and I've been wearing it. And I'm obsessed with it. I also went through my old jewelry box that I had when I was younger that was just in my closet. And I think I found a few things, but the one thing that I've been wearing a lot lately has been this Cape Cod mood ring. And I mean, that just fits the topic of today's conversation so well. Like a mood ring. Come on. Come on, whimsy. Like, we're bringing whimsy back, one mood ring at a time. The whimsy people are going to save the world, in my opinion. There's something about having a mood ring on you and looking up, doing a little Google search, mood ring colors on Google, and just finding that, I do resonate with calm right now. Yeah, I am pretty green right now. Like, it's so fun. Sorry. Okay, another really fun one. I love to decorate my plants. Okay? I've never sounded more hippy dippy ever in my life, but I love to like add a little seashell to my plants. Or right now I actually have a little frog ceramic tiny little figure trinket thingy that I got from Italy. I named him Gubbio because I got him in Gubbio, Italy, and I put him in my jade tree, and he's just the cutest thing ever. And I'm so obsessed. I'm obsessed. Like, put little critters and things in your plants. It makes them so fun. It gives them some like spunk and personality, and it's so fun. I love it. Anyways, it feels like you're creating a little community, a little like habitat. Highly recommend. Anyways, and honestly, like anything with plants in general, you can make so whimsy so easily. Like, some people name their plants. Some people, I don't know how I feel about the whole naming thing. I don't think I'm a big namer. I do, but I don't. Like, I'll name like some stuffed animals just because I did that ever since I was little. But like, I name them stupid shit. Like, I have two stuffed animals that ironically I got in Cape Cod, obviously, when I was younger. And they are pig and cow stuffed animals, and their names are Pig and Cow. So yeah, she definitely thought really hard on that one. So yeah, I just like to name them stupid things, but I usually forget what their names are, to be honest. I just like to name them initially, I think, and then I like forget. I don't know. Anyways, this is one that I do often, and sometimes, I would say it kind of bites me in the ass a little bit, just on my own part, and other times is like the most fun thing ever. Putting things like articles of clothing or colors or whatever, accessories, putting things like that together that don't make any inherent sense together in their individual essences, right? Like, you got like a sequin skirt and you have like a denim jacket, right? It's like two things that don't really make sense together but kind of do. Like, just putting weird things that you wouldn't put normally together. Okay? Did I just over explain the fuck out of that? Probably, but I think we're following. I think we're following. I can get the consensus right now that you guys are with me. So I do this with accessories a lot, with just mixing metals. Like right now, my earring stack, you can't really see, but my earring stack is very much silver and gold, and my bracelets and things like that are silver and gold. Yeah, even just adding like a belt that kind of makes no sense to an outfit, or like, I love to play around with textures. So that's what made me think about like the sequin skirt and denim jacket example. But you could do it with colors, you can do it with textures, you can do it with articles of clothing in a way, like putting a skirt with a sweatshirt. You know what I mean? Like, you can make it fun. You can make it really fun. Ooh, wait, before I go, I just thought of one that I do actually actively. Sometimes I'm gonna call this like shuffle spells. Okay, I'm gonna call this a shuffle spell. Sometimes I like to implement some intentionality in the music I'm listening to, right? Because I'm a very spiritual person. I already believe there is so much spiritual essence and magic and things like that in music in general, to be honest. And every single time I hear a certain song, I'm sure it is all divine timing. I believe everything is. But I love to like take a little intentional moment. Maybe it's with some sort of spirit if you're into that. I'm kind of into that. And just like take a pause and shuffle your music or your playlist, whatever it is. I'm a big playlist person. I got playlists for about every feeling I've ever felt in my life. Feel free to follow me on Apple Music, to be honest. It's just Lizzie Arduino. But yeah, I think it's really fun to take a second and shuffle your music and see what song comes up intuitively when you press shuffle? Because it's also like, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but if it does, I'm curious. Leave a comment or something. But I find myself a lot of times, I think music is a big way for spirit, whatever you believe in, to communicate with us. And I feel like that's a big way that I communicate with God is just through music in general. So sometimes I'll be thinking of a song and I'll literally channel it. Like my music will already be on shuffle and I'll channel that song being the next one. You know what I mean? Or it's like the same vibe. It feels the same way like when you're listening to a song maybe and it like pauses or something like that and you come back to that song and you were singing the exact lyric that the song left off on. Is am I speaking in tongues right now? I don't know. I think I need to cut myself off there. Okay, I said I was going to go after that one, but I also just want to add junk journaling because I'm so obsessed with junk journaling and it is a little whimsy because you're basically collecting garbage in your purse. Like at the end of the night, my purse is filled with garbage and scraps that I saved and sometimes meticulously peeled off of things to put in my journal, you know? It makes your journal a little bit like thick, I will say, but it's really fun and you also don't have to use it in your main journal, but I junk journal in my main journal that I use for like everything. Also, another thing you could do, oh my God, flow state, hello. Um, I really like to have different journals for different reasons. So I'll have a podcast journal, I'll have a yoga journal. I'll have like my personal journal that is intentionally my journal, you know, like the one I dump in, the one I do my junk journaling in. And just like designating certain journals to certain things. I think it's so fun, but I also, not gonna lie, that one has caused me a lot of emotional turbulence in my life and physical. When you have minimum 3 different journals for 3 different things, sometimes I really like to give myself the option of tapping into any of those avenues at any given point, right? So I like to carry my journals with me everywhere I go. But it's hard when you have 3. So I kind of have to like make the choice before I leave the house of like what I'm going to tap into today, which makes it more intentional in a way. But yeah, I think that's all I have, to be honest. I encourage you guys to add to this list in whatever way that makes the most sense to your life. And especially digging into your inner child a little bit and reflecting on what things you liked when you were younger, what activities and hobbies you were into, and things like that. And just tapping into that inner child a little bit as the spring rolls in and this new energy is coming and things are starting to warm up and bloom and whatever. You know, humans work with the seasons too, so it's time to play. Like, put on your fucking running shoes. It's time to play. Me and my friends have been really taking advantage of the sunshine lately. Been doing a lot of gymnastics. Learned I still have my front handspring, which is really cool. A little cheerleading here and there, you know. I'm really itching to play Manhunt right now. So I'm trying to rally some people together to get that going. Need to bring that into motion. Also, really, really itching to draw with some chalk. So gonna try to make that happen. You know, just like little things, guys. Little things. It doesn't have to be so extravagant. You could do anything. You can paint rocks. You can make little crafts with shells. I'm big on shells. Like, shells are like my crystals. That's how I like to explain them. Like, I have my windowsill is like full of shells. And like when I go to the beach, I'm on a mission. Like I have clocked in. I have one thing to do and one thing only, and it's find the best shells on the beach. And I do it every time. But I run into an issue of like not really knowing what to do with all my shells because I like to keep them separate from like each trip that I go to. You know, I was just on spring break and I went to Charleston, South Carolina, and we were right on the beach and it was gorgeous. And a lot of the shells that I found had a perfect circle, like right where you would want there to be a circle for a necklace. And it made me and my friends really sus because we were just like, what if these shells are fake? Like, I don't know why they all have a perfect circle in the same spot. It's just odd to me. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just going to keep yapping on this mic if I don't cut myself off. So I'm going to pull the cord here. But thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you add more whimsy into your life. And if you don't, I hope you just had fun gabbing with me today. And yeah, right now I'm thinking that posting episodes every other week is more my vibe, but we're going to see. It just helps me kind of put more love into each episode and take my time with them and not have to rush recording the next episode, and it just helps me stay on track. So I'm figuring it out, guys, okay? We're learning as we go. But yeah, stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for listening. Thanks for tagging along. Thanks for joining if you're new here, and go be good. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Mwah. Kisses.